सुसेगाद दनपार पळोवणाऱ्यांक म्हजो मायमोगाचो नमस्कार. हांव फ्रँकी फर्नांडीस, मेलबर्न, ऑस्ट्रेलियाचो तुमकां ह्यो गोंयच्यो आनी भायले देशांत रावतल्या गोंयकारांच्यो खबरो कोंकणींतल्यान पावयता. आज एप्रिलाची 26 तारीख. सुरवातेक एक दुखेस्त खबर. गेल्ल्या सुमारांत एप्रिलाचे 21 तारखेर रोमाच्या व्हॅटिकन शारांत आमचो पाप साहेब फ्रांसीस हो ह्या संवसारांतलो अंतरलो. ताचो इंतेर आज एप्रिलाच्या 26 तारखेक सेंट पॅट्रिक स्क्वेअर हांगा जातलो. फाटल्या 12 वर्सां पाप साहेब म्हूण जुट्टी स्विकारतोच ताणें इगोर्ज जायतो बदल हाडलो. अदीक करून तरणाट्यांक जेजूचो पाटलाव करून पाप साहेबान तरणाट्यांक खूब प्रोत्साहन दिलें.
Post-Easter, Pope's death sent shockwaves all over the world, and especially to the youth who are really preparing and looking forward to meet him during this holy year, the year of Pilgrims of Hope. I remember meeting the Pope along with the Goan youth in Lisbon, Portugal, and it was a wonderful experience that Pope Francis, in fact, walked through where our group was waiting for him to be there. And I could see the enthusiasm of the young people that were gathered for this event. And every time they gather around the Pope, they were really amazed by this simple man, a great leader, and they felt their faith was lifted. But the youth that were there from Goa, they had a special, like some of them, they claimed and they shared their status. They saw the Pope more than once, more than twice, and they waited for long. And some of them waited on roads that we have to really wait for 2, 3, 4 hours as the Pope was passing that side. And it was just not to see the great leader, but to be changed by the values that he stands for the values of Christ. And as he leaves this legacy, we are praying for a new leader, that God may inspire and guide the church, and especially inspire the young people, especially young people of Goan ethnicity that have moved all over the world, and more precisely here in the UK. We have Goan chaplaincy in UK, we have Goan chaplaincy in Sweden, and lots of the young people are responding to Christ, and they are ready to meet the challenges of the time based on faith. May this be our living tribute to walk in the footsteps of Christ, a tribute to our dearly late father, of Pope Francis.
My family and I were incredibly blessed to be able to attend the Easter Sunday service at St. Peter's Square and to have received the Pope's Easter blessing afterwards. It was such a joyous moment when he was rolled onto the balcony, because we knew he was not in the best of health, but he still wanted to meet the people. And after that buzz, we woke up to the news the next day that he had passed, and that was a shock. And for me personally, it was difficult because I really admired him as a person, as the head of the Catholic Church. He was a man who walked the talk, who went out and did. His genuine concern for the environment, his love for the poor, for migrants, for all God's creation, was a breath of fresh air. And he really set an example for how we should be as Christians. And I think these are sentiments that are echoed across the globe, because after his passing, when we went out into the square again, the amount of crowd that was beginning to gather was immense. There were people from all parts of the globe speaking different languages, on video and phone calls back to their families back home, telling them what had happened. There were people laying down flowers, saying prayers. All of it just really showed how much he was loved as a person. And I was also fortunate enough to be able to attend the rosary in the days after his death that was held to pray for the repose of his soul. And even there was a huge gathering of faithful, and I'm sure non-believers as well, to pray for the soul of such a great man who set such a great example for who we should be as Christians. And he will just be missed as a person. I was incredibly fortunate to have been there to experience this. It was a memorable moment in my life, and it's a great loss that I'm sure all of us are feeling right now. Pope Francis, may your soul rest in eternal peace.
आमच्या भारतातून आमच्या बापसाहेबाक खूप मान आमच्या हिंदू भावा भयणांमध्ये मुस्लिम भावा भयणांमध्ये आणि हेर दुसऱ्या तसेच क्रिस्ती भावाच्या मध्ये जरूर आमच्या बापसाहेबाक खूप खूप भोवमान आसलो. म्हाका देखून थोडे हिंदू भावांनी फोन केलो कंडोलन्सीस करून आमचो बापसाहेब मेलो. असलो बापसाहेब देवान दिलो आमकां म्हणून आमचे हिंदू म्हजे फ्रेंड म्हाका जायते गोंयचे विश करताले. असलो बापसाहेब आमकां दिलो क्रिस्ती भावार्थाक देवाचे मूळ देणे. आमी जायते जाण गोंयांत आनी भारतांतूय रावताले क्रिस्तांव कशे तो केन्ना तरी आमच्या भारताक भेट करतलो. आमकां खूब खोस आसली ताणें आमच्या भारतांत येवन. ताकाय भारताच्या भाव भयणांचो जायतो मोग आसलो. भारतांत येवंक तो सोदतालो आनी जेन्ना मागीर फ्रांसीस शागराची बेलिकाचो दाखोळ जातालो तेन्ना अदीक आमची आस वाडलोली की आमचो बापसाहेब आमच्या गोंयांत येतलो. आनी तरी आमकां हें बाद पावना जालें मेळोंक ना की आमच्या हातांनी ना. साबार वस्तू तातूंत लागू जाता, तो आमचो सरकार लागू जाता आनी हेर वस्तू लागू जाता. ह्या खातीर हें आमकां देणें मेळोंक ना. तरी आमी देवाक दिनमस्ता आमच्या बापसाहेबाच्या देण्या खातीर. ताचो प्रभाव आमचे गोंयचे पबिचुबेचेर जायतो जालो आनी जातलो. जायते बरेपण ताणें आमकां शिकयलां. जावं श्रिस्तीचो मान राखूंक, श्रिस्ती राखूंक हें आमचें कॉमन होम. सगळ्या श्रिस्तीच्या घटकां बरोबर, जनवरां बरोबर, झाडां बरोबर, नदी बरोबर, दोंगरां बरोबर आमी जीव शिकूंक तो आमकां आग्रो करतालो. शिववर्तमानचे खेरीत भाशेन आंग द गॉस्पल ऑफ क्रिएशन आमच्या श्रीस्तीन आसा म्हण ताणें शिकयलें. असलो बापसाहेब देवान आमकां दिलो. देवाक जाय तेन्ना देवान ताका व्हेलो. देवाक आर्गां आनी आनीकय बरो आमकां बापसाहेब तोच देव दितलो म्हूण आमकां बरो असो आसा.
The Holy Father, having served as Pope for 12 years, will continue to be the man of all seasons by his words and deeds. He was formed as a Jesuit, but as a Pope, he took on the name Francis, and we thought that it was because of Saint Francis Xavier. Hardly did we realize that it was because of Saint Francis of Assisi, and he imbibed his prayer, Lord, make me a channel of your peace. He loved everyone, but in a special way, addressing to the young people, he said, you are the living hope of a church on the move. May your soul rest in peace, Papa Francis.
इतिहासांत पयलेच फावट गोंय आनी दामान आर्च डायसिसाचो कार्डिनल फिलीप नेरी फेरांव पाप साहेबाच्या इतेराक हाजीर आसतलो आनी ताच्या उपरांत नवो पाप साहेब वेंचूंक हे कॉन्क्लेव हातून भाग घेतलो. मागुया पाप साहेब फ्रांसिसाच्या आत्म्याक शांती फावो म्हूण. दुसरी खबर, गेल्ल्या सुमारांत आमी सांगून दिल्ले कशे तरेन सेंट ट्रिजा ऑफ कॅलकटा हाचें पणजेचें मिशनरीज ऑफ चॅरिटी हाचें घर अब्रिलाचे 21 तारखेक म्हणल्यार बंद जातलें म्हूण. हातूंत सुमार 40 जाण अदीक करून बायल्यो हांगा रावताल्यो त्यो मिशनरीज ऑफ चॅरिटी हांच्या वेगवेगळ्या गोंयांत आसलेल्या सेंटर हातूंत घातल्यात. ही जावन आसा एक दुखेस्त खबर. अदीक करून पणजेच्या शारांत सांगता डॉक्टर सबीना मार्टन्स.
It is a matter of concern that Mother Teresa's home in Panjim is shutting down. The sisters have been told that there are no destitutes in Panjim, and Panjim is a rich place. Now this is not true. There are lots of destitutes, and we have been referring the destitutes to Mother Teresa's home as Bailanza Sad. Last time when I went, they told me the place is full. Thereafter, they referred the person to Karambali home. So that means there are people. If the place is full, that means there is a need. The next time that I went with a referral, a senior citizen who was beaten and had broken bones, and they said that the place is under renovation and the place was leaking, and so they will try to accommodate the person at another home. And every time we went there, there seemed to be some uncertainty about the place being run, because the issue of repairs was not getting resolved. The point here is there is a dire need for shelter homes in Goa. The government shelter homes do not provide the service. We have shelter homes run by charitable organizations, and so many times we have seen them coming on the streets because they do not have funds, and government funds are not forthcoming. I know we have senior citizen, destitute people literally coming out in morchas and protests because the funds are not available. And here we have a charitable organization who has funding, because a lot of people donate generously to Mother Teresa's. They are providing very good service to the inmates. Like we know there are senior citizens, the ones that we have referred with broken jaw. They had to be fed through food pipes. Diapers had to be changed. They changed regularly. They were on wheelchairs for months together, and they have been providing excellent service to the inmates. We know how difficult it is. If we have one senior citizen at home who's bedridden and you have to keep a caretaker and look after the patient, people know how difficult it is, how much effort that goes in looking after the person. And here a community of people, all with diverse needs, the Mother Teresa sisters have been looking after the patient and doing a wonderful job. And there are a lot of community volunteers who also go there to help. So it is more like a community place. So it is not because of funds, it's not because they are not able to pay the service, be able to do the work, but it is the uncertainty regarding the place, because whether they will continue or not continue, whether they will be shifted or not shifted, and it is this uncertainty that I feel has led to the missionaries of charity taking a decision to close the place. And this is a matter of serious concern. We have, as I said earlier, we don't have shelter homes. We don't have shelter homes which give immediate relief. Somebody has been thrown out on the roads now. Your food has to be given to them. By the time you do paperwork, it's a long story. So sometimes they need immediate medical attention. They need homes. And what is the definition of destitute? Now we in Goa, all the women have got equal property rights. So we have lots of women who have notionally properties and they are considered rich. But when they are thrown out of their homes, they are the rich destitutes. The destitutes, notionally they are very rich, so they don't find homes anywhere. They will not find a place. Providoria will not give them home because they will have so much property to their name, and so here was a place where somebody is abandoned. You can refer to. They were also looking after unwed mothers. There is so much of stigma. People, when people are abandoned, they go through a lot of emotional stress. Mother Teresa treated these women as family, as part of community. A lot of activity used to happen so that women are not depressed. And it was more than just a shelter home.
खबरापत्रांचेर वाचून कळोन आयलां की सेंट ट्रिजा ऑफ कॅलकटा हाणें स्थापन केल्लें हें गोर सिस्टर सांगता ते प्रमाणे वोकेसांव उणें जालां म्हूण ताका लागून हें गोर बंद करचें पडटा. खबर आतां गोंयचो काजूचो फेणी हाचे बाबतींत. गोंयकारांक काजूचो फेणी हाचो खूब आवड, पूण भोव कमी लोकांक खबर आसा की काजूचो फेणी संवसारांतले नामनेचे कॉकटेल बार हातूंत ते देशांत रावतले गोंयकारांक तशेंच तांच्या लोकांक पिवपाक मेवता म्हूण. हांगा ऑस्ट्रेलिया सिडनी नामनेचे मेबी सेमी कॉकटेल बार, जपान टोकियो हांगा बार बेनफिडिच, फ्रांस हांगा लिटल रेड डोर, सिंगापूर हांगा जंगल बॉलरूम हांगा काजूचो फेणी पिवपाक मेवता. एक म्हत्वाचो गोश्ट म्हणल्यार हे जे कोण हांगा विकता ते गोंयकार न्हय, पूण जे कोण काजूचो फेणी हाणें टेस्ट केला. आनी भोव म्हत्वाचें म्हणल्यार हांकां कळून आयलां की काजूचो फेणी हाचो टेस्ट आनी ताचे पोटेन्शियल्स. हें जावन आसा एक गोंयकारांक एक खुशालकायेची एक खबर, सांगता हॅन्सल वाज.
On Instagram, they call me the Feni Dotor. So today I'm going to tell you something about Feni. When you think about Feni, the first thing that most people think about is Caju Feni. This is by far the most popular. But people forget that the original Feni is not a Caju Feni. It is actually coconut Feni. It's called in our villages Mada Sor. Everyone knows Mada Sor, and that was made from pure coconut toddy. For a long time, it was a dwindling industry, but today coconut Feni is back on track. We're producing toddy and making coconut Feni. But this is very interesting because Caju Feni and coconut Feni, a lot of people think there are only two Fenis. But for a researcher like me, Feni is a much bigger product. It's not just a drink of two products. It's not binary. It is actually a category, and that's what it is. So interestingly, we drank coconut Feni, which was a pure Feni made from coconut toddy, distilled into a spirit of coconut. Then we added a botanical, and this is what we have is Dukshiri. We use a root, add to coconut Feni, distill it, and get this beautifully clear spirit called Dukshiri. Very interesting flavors of petrichor, of peanuts, and licorice. The third interesting one is also a ginger Feni. In Konkani we call it ale. And ale has got nice, it's a tantalizing flavor of fiery ginger and a nice taste of candied fruits. This is very interesting. So we have a pure expression, we have botanical expression, and here we got a very interesting one. This is the last type of Fenis. This is called Cafe Conserva. These are liqueur style Fenis. This has got coffee, it's got coconut Feni and a little bit of sugar. Great for an after meal drink. But this is what stands out completely, because this is where Goa changed the world. We made Feni out of Caju fruits. The Caju fruit does not come from Goa, it is originally from Brazil. And what is interesting is we took this fruit and decided to make a distilled product called Feni. It's the only place in the whole world that makes it. And I think that is what the world is now discovering. Because today, the world is fed up of drinking whiskeys and vodkas and gins, and now they're drinking tequilas. But after tequilas, what next? And I think that's why we're now having a lot of interest from foreign bartenders. From France, Little Red Door, from Japan, Bar Benfidic, from Singapore, from Hong Kong, from Thailand. We got brands and hotel owners and bar owners flying into Goa only to figure out what is happening with this new category. Because the world is looking for new flavors, and what we have in Goa is an original spirit. It's not like a gin, it's not like a whiskey, it's not like a vodka, it's not like a tequila. It's a spirit by itself, using a unique process, unique ingredients, and made in a very small geography on the Sunshine Coast of Goa. This is going to be the next big story coming out of India.
देव बरें करूं बाब हॅन्सल वाज, तुवें आमकां तुजो मोलादीक वेळ दिलो म्हूण ही म्हायती दिवपाक. खबर आतां खेळा मैदानारसून. ऑल इंडिया फुटबॉल फेडरेशन हाणें गेल्ल्या सुमारांत कळीत केलां की गोंयचो चर्चिल ब्रदर्स फुटबॉल क्लब ह्या वर्साचो इंडियन लीग हातूंत जैतिवंत जाला म्हूण. आतां येता ते इंडियन सुपर लीग हातूंत 2 गोंयचे पंगड आसतले, FC गोवा आनी चर्चिल ब्रदर्स फुटबॉल क्लब. आमचे लागीं उलयतना चर्चिल आलेमो हाणें हें सांगलें.
लोकांक जाय आसली एक की गोंयकार चलयतली गेम आयएसएल वचपाक आनी गोंयकारांक गेले म्हाका बाबणालें मागणें आशिल्लें तेचे लागीं गेम हे फावटी आयएसएला गेल्या बरें म्हूण. आनी जे लास्ट आमी इंटर कशें काडटा आख्खो लोक येयलो. हांवें एकूच मागलें बाबा हे फावटी तुमी या गोंयकाराची गेम मुखार वयता जाल्यार तुमी सपोर्ट देव. ते दिसा जायत लोक येयलो आनी तो लोक आज बराबर ज्या दिसाक आमी जिखले आमी येयले त्या दिसाक व्हडली रॅली काडून आमकां हिंगा हजारांनी लोक हिंगा येयलो. आनी म्हाका दिसता हे फावटी आयएसएलाक लोक खूब येतलो कित्याक गोंयकार म्हणटा चर्चिल जाले हांव 45 इयर्सांनी फुटबॉल चलयता आनी ती आज गेम ती गेम आज आयएसएलाक गेली म्हणटकूच लोकांक गेलो हे फावटी खूब सपोर्ट आसतलो आयएसएलाक. सद्याक हांवें आजुनूय कांय चिंतलो ना. सद्याक कोच पळय आसलो इज अ गूड कोच, नॉट बॅड. आनी ताणें पयलें म्हणलें आपूण हे फावटी तुगेली गेम आयएसएला पावयतली आनी ताणें आयएसएला पावयल्या. सो आय नॉट डिसायडीड चेंज करतलो आनी हाडटलो. म्हगेलें चवथें चेडूं एडवोकेट वालांक घाले मग ताका आनी म्हगेले सगळ्या भुरग्यांक फुटबॉलाचो चड मोग पूण हेका चड मोग आनी सारकें इनवॉल्व जाला फुटबॉलान. आनी ते इनवॉल्व जाता म्हणटकूच ताका आमी आमगे आख्खी गेम तेज्या हातीन दिल्या. तें सीओ जालां आनी दुसरो म्हगेलो एक नातू आदित्य. ती दोगांय जे पळय मुखार वयता आनी म्हगेलो चेडो सावियो ती तिगांय मुखार वयता आनी तींच सिलेक्ट करता प्लेयर आनी म्हाका दाखयता खंयच प्लेयर हाडपाचो कितें हाडपाचो. आनी सीओ पळय म्हणटा ताका म्हगे वालांक पळय म्हणटा ताका चड मोग फुटबॉलाचो. आनी तेणें एक फावटी आमची गेमी पॉलिटिकली हें केल्ली भायर उडयल्ली पूण तें कोर्टान जिखोवन ती जालो यार म्हणटकूच तें कोर्टान जिखोवन पोती टीम आमची हाडली. आनीक आज सांगपा म्हणल्यार तेमकां लागून आज ही गेम मुगे मुखार आहा.
देव बरें करूं बाब चर्चिल आलेमो, तुवें आमकां तुजो मोलादीक वेळ दिलो म्हूण. तर ह्यो जावन आसले आमचे सुसेगाद दनपार गोंयच्यो आनी भायल्या देशार रावतले गोंयकारांच्यो खबरो. मेळुया दुसऱ्या सुमारांत. ते मेरेन मोग आसूं दी.